The residents of Byron, Maine, yesterday unanimously voted against mandatory gun ownership in their town. Sabatus, Maine, also voted down a similar proposal a week or so ago. Back when I used to live, Louise and I and our kids lived in Roswell, Georgia, a nearby town. Kennesaw, Georgia, passed a "you must have a gun" law, and some interesting comparisons. There was an analysis done of Kennesaw, Georgia, which passed the law in '82, and Morton Grove, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, rather. Same size town, though, in 1982. Morton Grove passed a handgun ban. Kennesaw passed a "you must have a handgun." And if you look at their crime statistics, their death statistics, their suicide statistics, their homicide statistics, in the decades since then, they seem pretty much identical. So I'm not sure why this would work, but Edith Portillo is on the line. She's a member of the City Council of Nelson, Georgia, and which I believe is near Kennesaw. Is it not, Edith?
Yes, it is.
And because
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, because you've got Kennesaw Street running through the middle of your town. And so,
exactly.
Yeah, so I figured you must be near Kennesaw. I've been to Kennesaw.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I've been to Nelson or not. I probably have. I've driven around a lot. We lived 13 years in Atlanta, or in the North Atlanta suburbs.
Did? Okay.
Yep. So tell me, why would you want to have a big government solution to? Well, first of all, do you have a crime problem in Nelson, Georgia?
Not really. It's a very quaint town, and the crime here is just petty theft, if anything. And we did this, as you stated at the beginning of your program. It is like the ordinance that Kennesaw passed in 1982. Mm-hmm. And you said big government. I don't consider it big government.
Well, how is it not big government for the government to come to me and say, you have to buy something? I mean, this was the objection to Obamacare, that Obama was saying you have to buy health insurance. Now you're telling me not only do I have to buy Obama's health insurance, but I got to buy your gun.
No. Have you read our ordinance?
Well, I haven't read the ordinance. I've read about the ordinance. Why don't you describe it for us?
It's a two-part. And at the beginning, it tells you that every household should maintain a firearm. And then on the second part, it says there are exceptions, like people who suffer physical or mental disability, and
or have religious objections,
and whoever the head of household that does not want to have a firearm. So if you do not want to have a firearm, you do not have to have a firearm. It's basically like a deterrent.
So,
it's a deterrent law.
Okay, so it sounds like, first of all, there's more parallels here to Obamacare. I mean, you don't actually have to buy health insurance under Obamacare. You can instead pay a couple $100 annual fine, and if you make less than $80,000, there's not even a fine, and the government will still give you health insurance.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Although in this case, you're not still giving people a gun if they don't want the gun. So
no, absolutely not. It's basically like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
You.
No, go ahead.
It's basically like a deterrent. Like if anyone would have the case, that they would have to use their firearm, that they know that the city of Nelson will back them up. So then, it's just, what you were saying about Obamacare. Yeah. And
so it sounds like what you're saying, what you're really doing is you're trying to tell people in nearby communities or somebody who's just traveling through town, maybe you'd have a sign at the city limits, the well-armed town or something like that. Right. Don't bring your crime to town, fella.
Exactly. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, what this reminds me of is Saddam Hussein, and I hope you don't find this an offensive analogy, but let me just describe the situation. Saddam Hussein had all his weapons destroyed, by the weapons inspectors back in the late 90s, and he never rebuilt them. We now know. We apparently didn't know that when we invaded Iraq. But he never rebuilt them. And in fact, instead, he was writing a 3-part trilogy that was an epic love story. He had become a novelist, but he wanted everybody around him to think that he had weapons. So he let people in his administration leak these stories that he was building nuclear weapons and he was building chemical weapons. And George Bush believed it, and others believed it. And the reason why he wanted people to believe it is he didn't want Iran. He didn't want to have another war with Iran. He didn't want them to mess with him. but it didn't work out so well because, Bush went in and kicked his butt. But up to that point, it had worked out fine, and it kept everybody else away. So if you're employing that kind of Saddam Hussein strategy of, hey, look out, I got these weapons, even though what you're really saying in the law is, if you don't want to have a gun, that's fine. Aren't you making the mistake
you gave me the analogy of Saddam Hussein, which I thought it was kind of a little bit strong.
Yeah.
But this is just like having the signs that you see all over, in communities, protected by security, ADT, or whatever.
Right.
This is basically that type of deterrent. We have a police officer here that does a marvelous job, but he only works 40 hours. And we then have to, we're divided between two counties, Pickens and Cherokee.
Right.
So we are at the mercy of wherever, we belong to at
the sheriff's
that point.
department. Yeah. But my question, and the reason I was doing the Saddam Hussein thing is, by going on national radio and television and by telling the newspapers that people don't actually have to have guns in Nelson, Georgia, aren't you kind of blowing up that Saddam Hussein strategy, that don't mess with me because I'm armed strategy? Shouldn't you instead be on the radio right now saying, we're going to require everybody to have a gun, and that way people will genuinely be frightened?
No, because this is a city, this is a town which, trust me, everybody loves their firearms, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a deterrent. I think it's a good thing. It's a thing that we don't, as I said before at the beginning, we don't want, big government, which I consider this, big government coming in and telling the people that want firearms, you cannot have it. And if they ever need to use it, they are backed up by the city of Nelson.
Aren't you concerned? I went through the Georgia Police Academy when we lived down there, and there's a lot of work that goes into learning how to appropriately and safely use a weapon, a handgun. Aren't you concerned that you're going to see an increase in accidental deaths and kids messing with guns and suicides and things?
No, I don't think so, because as I said before, the people that have firearms, they have had them for years and years and years.
Yeah.
This community has new communities, of recent development.
Sure.
But the basic old Nelson, that comes from generation to generation.
Right. So what you're really looking for is the ability to put a sign on the city limits that says a well-armed town kind of thing.
More or less. Yeah, more or less, if we decide to do that. Absolutely.
Okay.
And, and as I said before, if you're not there, and I think that, it's a big cliche. Guns do not kill people, people kill people.
Right.
And as I said before, this town doesn't have high crime, and we don't expect, anything. You never know.
Well, we'll see how it shakes out. Edith Portillo, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a
Great
pleasure.
talking with you.